Morning. All right, let's go ahead and get started, guys. I do have the risk disclosure up. I just want to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the market trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. Okay. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Use of the information is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, and contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. We all understand that future trading does contain a substantial amount of risk, and it's not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used when trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Nothing contained herein is solicitation or offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so now that we've gotten the risk disclosure out of the way, guys, we'll go ahead and move on and take a look, see what the news has to say today. So we're going to go ahead and locate my news portal, which I believe I have open. So let's go ahead and locate that. Sure enough, we do. Okay. So we have PMI coming in here at 9:45 Eastern. Okay. We have pending home sales coming in at 10 a.m. Eastern. We have our normal option expiration coming in at 10 a.m. as well. And then we have a number of holidays globally, New Zealand, Japan, and Australia. I don't know if that necessarily is going to have a serious impact on our markets, but it's always good to be aware of what, with what group of market participants is not available. Okay. All right. So I would say relatively light on news. Let's go ahead and move on to the charts themselves. Okay. So we'll go ahead and stop sharing here and share again. And we'll go ahead and locate my charting platform. Okay. There we are. I was just kind of taking a look at the sell-off that's going on in the equities at the moment. So let's move on to our market that we start off with each time, and that's the gold. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and kind of briefly, let's see, remove all our indicators here, kind of take a brief look at the weekly here just to get a sense for the general direction, and then move down to the other time frames. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move this up to the weekly chart and get a sense for what general direction the market is trying to go here. And again, it seems to be in some sort of consolidation range here at the moment. We have the market has been bullish over obviously the past year here. But I would say over the last couple of months, okay, we've been kind of stuck in this kind of range. Okay. So while we have been bullish, we are in a bit of consolidation at the moment in gold on the weekly. Moving on to the daily, we can see the same level of consolidation here. Again, I think I've drawn this before, but it resonates with me, so I'm going to draw it again, and that is this triangle pattern that we're seeing here. Okay, now we don't know necessarily which direction the market is going to leave this pattern, but we do know that it is going to leave at some point as it gets closer to the apex of this triangle. Okay. Now the question is, what direction is that going to be? Is it going to be to the upside? Is it going to be to the downside? What I do know, is that the length of the move is going to be a rather significant. Okay. So I do know that the move could potentially be something that takes us back down to 2,300 if it's to the downside, or up to, let's say, 3,000 or 3,100 if it's to the upside. Okay, that it does tell me. Okay, I just don't know. I can't tell you which direction it's going to be. I can tell you the magnitude of the potential move. All right, moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, we're going to go ahead again, remove some of our drawings, and we'll try to keep these charts as clean as we can here as we do the analysis here. Okay, all right, so we seem to be in some sort of corrective pattern here. Doesn't seem to be awfully impulsive at the moment. So we have 2650 or 55 kind of acting as resistance. And then we have, I don't know, 2625. Maybe this whole area might be an area of demand. I'm not so sure. We've come down to this level once, reacted away from it. We came down to this level again. We breached it, and we found some buyers, but the buyers really haven't been able to hold bullish without developing some sort of selling wick. Okay, so for me, it appears that based on the 4-hour, there seems to be more in the way of, I would say, bearish price action opportunity maybe developing here in the gold market, and that's aligned with kind of the general direction that we're seeing as we move from left to right. Okay, as we move from left to right, we can see that the general market seems to be wanting to move down. Any sort of bullish action that we've had so far has been a bit muted. Okay, all right. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, we have a developing bearish candle here. We're going to go ahead and start to open up some of our levels here. One thing I'm going to add is the ADR levels. Another thing I'm going to add is the ASR levels. And I'm going to go ahead and open up initial balance if I can locate it. My initial balance range. There's my initial balance range. We're going to go ahead and stretch this out here a little bit. Okay. So again, we have this bearish engulfing candle that's being developed here on the gold. Okay, right in the middle of these average session ranges. We're actually probably more toward the lower end of both the average daily range as well as maybe the average session range here. Now, these are London sessions. They'll get adjusted here with the open of the US market here in about 45 minutes. But these are kind of the average session range that we're working with at the moment. Okay. So we have a developing bearish engulfing candle and on the open of this initial balance range in an otherwise kind of, I would say, bearish, structure here, right? I mean, if I were to draw this channel, this is kind of how I would draw it. Okay. So we've bounced off the top of this channel multiple times. Okay. We now are coming into an area, right here, where we could potentially see some buyers. Chances are that the real buyers will probably be closer to this average daily range or average session range. And notice how that's aligned with our channel. Okay, notice how this range is aligned with this channel. So 2614 looks like an interesting level if I'm looking to reverse the current move. Okay, and remain in this kind of range. All right. Otherwise, if I'm looking for more of a bearish opportunity. Well, I need some sort of reference level that I can use. And the next thing I'm going to add here is my VWAP. Okay, so I have my VWAP there. I'm going to go ahead and remove the channel here for now. since my levels are being captured by average session ranges. Okay. So we have our VWAP. This over here, we're looking at London. London was somewhat bullish. How effective is, don't know what that means, my friend. You're going to have to translate that. How effective is trend channels? Well, I use it. I use price channels all the time when it comes to my entries. Okay. I use price channels all the times when it comes to my entries. So I do lean on them quite a bit. And they and the channels are my last price event before I decide on any sort of directional trade. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. Oh, I wanted to do here. I was about to add my anchor VWAP, which looks like I want to add it around here. Okay, which like we're already below that as well. And then the other item I wanted to add was my fixed range volume profile, and kind of take a look at where price is in reference to Friday's trade. Okay, and here we are there. Okay, so that's also breaching below value. What's my setting for VWAP? I think it's pretty standard, Zunid. Okay. We'll take a quick look here, but I think it's pretty standard. No, that's not the I use HLC3. Pretty standard. The only thing I don't turn on is the bands. Okay. I don't turn on the bands. The VWAP bands, 1R, 2R, 3R. I don't turn those bands, although they offer logical locations for extensions and reversals of price. Okay. But yeah, that's basically my settings. I don't really, I change this to blue. I don't need any of the upper or lower bands. Okay. All right. Let's coming back to the review here. I'm going to go ahead and add my levels that I'm tracking in this market. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our price levels. Okay, here are our price levels that we're adding to the market. Okay, so we have some supply for our supply levels at 2,700, which is well above the market at the moment. Okay, and then we have a demand zone coming in at 2,600. So I'm going to mark that. Okay, that's going to be an area of interest for me. I'm going to mark that in manually. Okay, so this 2,600 level is an area of interest for me. Okay, it's a logical number. Okay, and it's a 4-hour supply. No worries. For our supply here. Okay, so if price continues in this direction and begins to break some structure, it opens up the opportunity for a move down to 2,600. Okay, assuming that we remain in this kind of bearish structure. All right, so 2,600 is a line in the sand that I'm going to be looking for, at least for a possible move to back up to the upside. But I suspect that we'll have other opportunities for bounces right around ADR and ASR. Okay, that's kind of my current view. All right. If we remain in this kind of, if our thought process is more bearish, well, I need to see some sort of pullback to something that I can lean on, right? Whether it's the average daily range, whether it's the top of initial balance high, I need something to kind of serve as a kind of a reference point for me to manage my risk and look for a trade. So if I'm going to follow the footprints of this particular bar here, I need to participate in a little bit of a pullback, okay, of some sort. Okay, I'm not going to participate at the lows of the lows. I'm gonna look for, again, this is kind of where I use my channels again, Zunid. I'm gonna look for some sort of channel break, okay, that will serve as my entry for short. Okay. I need some sort of rally in order to participate to the short side. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the gold market. I'm going to pause here to see if there's any other questions, folks, on the market before I move on. I have my levels here, so you can use those levels to track and offer, again, some insights. So we have the average daily and session range here captured here below. That's probably going to be an area that could be contentious, could offer us an area for reversal in price. Okay. All right. Not seeing any more comments, so we'll go ahead and move on to the crude oil. Okay. So we'll open up the crude oil chart. So here we are, crude oil, and we'll go ahead and remove some of our drawings, not indicators, but okay. We'll go ahead and open up the weekly chart and again, get a sense for what the market is trying to accomplish here. And again, we seem to be in a very rangy kind of a price, right? Not an area that I would be super excited to trade. We lot of overlapping candles here, right? One candle down, one candle up, another candle down, another candle up. Yeah, so this is range price action, right? Range price action in an otherwise kind of down move, right? We've been kind of working our way down in this market, but now we're in range, okay? 67 seems to be an important area, okay, in this market. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a horizontal line around 67, okay? 67. This area right here seems to be an important level, okay, in this market, and we've kind of been bouncing off of 72, okay? Now, this is the second candle in a series, okay? If we do manage to get above, I guess on this weekly chart, if we do manage to get above 71.50, that could open the door for a higher pricing, okay? But we haven't seen that of late, so we need to see a definitive move in that direction in order to, I would say, embrace that view, okay? So moving on to the daily chart, okay? Again, just more detail on range price action. I'm going to go ahead and turn off some of these things at the moment. We don't need them, okay? Again, how many bottoms can we make here? 1, 2, 3, 4 bottoms, okay? Now, what is interesting of late is that this move did not make it all the way down to 67. So there appears to have been some demand here created. Okay, this is an area of demand, right? Good supper, right? This is an area of demand here now. Now, if we do manage to get above like that level I mentioned before, 71.50, that could open up the door to 73 and maybe back to the highs of 75 and 78. Okay. This is a little bit interesting for me because it's a little bit of an area where price came down, was not able to get to the lows before some buyers stepped in here. Okay. So my line in the sand, yeah, strong support. So my line in the sand here is going to be this. I'm gonna draw it with a checkered line. Okay, this is gonna serve as resistance. But if this resistance is broken, this 71.50 is going to serve as a solid level for support upwards if it's able to hold it. Okay. So what's interesting for me is that we have consecutive daily, we have consecutive bullish candles, and price was not able to make it back down to 67, which indicates that maybe we're starting to see some buyers kind of stepping into this market. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and we'll leave it as is, kind of take a look and maybe kind of drill down. We're starting to see kind of this price action that we look for when we're looking for bullish opportunities, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Okay, this 4-hour candle has the potential of breaking this high, and we have an immediate high here at 71.50 that we need to contend with. Okay, So interesting price structure that is beginning to be develop here. Again, would be willing to kind of track this on the 4 hour side with this channel. Okay, and as long as price is able to maintain bullish, then I would have to look at maybe some bullish opportunities. Right, we have it's prices inside a bullish channel. We have a developing bullish engulfing candle. Okay. The only thing that really is maybe being causing me a little bit of pause is the fact that we've been in kind of in this range for some time. Okay. Yeah. If price breaks the channel, if price breaks the channel and ideally retests the same channel. Okay. If we break the channel and we retest the channel and it's not able to come back inside the channel, okay, then that would be an opportunity for us to take a long trade off the channel, something like that. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. So we'll go ahead and let's see. Got to stretch this out here a little bit, make it a little bit more visible for people who are looking on at this on their with their iPhones. Okay. All right. So here's our view here. We have the 7150 above us. We have price above our VWAP. Initial balance is going to begin to open. Market's going to begin to open here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my price levels that I'll be looking at in this market. Okay. So here are the price levels that I'm looking at in this market. I'm going to go ahead and open up ADR, okay, which we're very close to. And then I'm also going to open up ASR, okay, all relative in the same area, okay. So this is an area of resistance. This could offer us an opportunity for price to reverse away from, okay. That's what this area could present. Now, the fact that we're already reaching that level early in the session also gives some evidence that we have the possibility of extending through this. Okay, so this is an area of decision for this market. Is it going to reverse? Is it going to be rejected? Okay, we're starting to see some evidence of that. Okay, with the selling wicks, right? Or is this going to be the time where price goes through this area? Okay, right. So that's kind of, so we have our ADR levels, which ADR SR levels, which are here. The next thing I'm going to draw here is I'm going to draw in my anchor VWAP. Well, I'm going to use my anchor VWAP from the start of London. Okay, so that's also telling me that there's some bullish momentum to this market. And then I'm also going to look at the fixed range volume profile, and I'm going to look for the start of Friday, which is back here somewhere. Okay, there it is. Drag that across to close of Friday, and you can see that price is above, okay, above value. Now this line right here, value area high, this would be a nice area for a possible reversal. Okay, if price were to come back down and retest this area around 70.63, could offer us a nice opportunity to the upside. Okay, right, this could be a nice area, nice confluence here with anchored VWAPs and daily VWAPs and value area high. Right, this would be a very nice area for an opportunity to the upside. Okay, right now I have to think that maybe price I have to think that that price may come back down to that level. Okay, given the resistance that we're seeing, but obviously there's no guarantees of that, right? Okay, given the momentum here, but there's an opportunity here potentially for a short down to this level. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market now. Crude oil just opened. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my initial balance range here. There it is. Is this full? Is this the full market? This is not the full market. Oh, sorry, guys. I was a little behind. Looks like I'm in some sort of replay mode, guys. Let me see if I can get out of it. There it is. Okay, I was just one candle away here. All right, so prices coming into this area that we talked about. Okay, we have a couple of areas of resistance, although right now we're not seeing much in the way of reaction away from it. Okay, so and then we have this area above us, this 7150, that could offer us resistance as well. Okay, so right now I'm certainly not keen in entering a short trade when I see such a strong bullish candle. Okay, that, and if I look at the 15-minute, that's also probably not going to tell me anything different, right? So I'm not really keen on shorting something that's showing me strength. Okay, but I also understand that it is in an area where there is resistance. Okay, so if price does manage to close above 71.15 or 71.20, then maybe I can use this area for support for maybe a move up to 71.50. Okay, that seems to be kind of maybe a logical progression. Okay, all right. Yeah, awesome. Looks like it. All right. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say here for crude oil. Okay. We're going to go ahead and move on to the equity market. Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to NASDAQ. All right. We'll move on to the NASDAQ. And I guess overnight has been a little bit of a sell off. Okay. As of London, we've been kind of in this sell off. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at. We're going to go ahead and remove some of our drawings if we have them. We don't have any, so we're going to go ahead and turn off some of these indicators, and then we'll do the same kind of review. Right? We'll do the review of the weekly, the daily, 4-hour, and then we'll come to the 30-minute. Okay. So first thing I'm going to open up here is the weekly chart. Okay, so weekly chart. Okay, we see that the market has been awfully strong. Okay, to the upside, right? Nothing here indicating that this market is necessarily turning in any sort of direction. Okay, now if we look at the most recent candles, we're starting to see some evidence of some rejection above, right? Right up above here, we have some evidence of some selling pressure. Then we have a developing bearish engulfing candle, right? But we still, I would say, haven't really broken any significant structure to the downside. Now, if this candle closes the week this way, then maybe we can start to begin to take some evidence here that maybe that's broken some price structure to the downside. So we have kind of a developing bearish engulfing candle on the weekly chart, but we won't know that for sure until the end of this week. Moving on to the daily chart. Daily chart, we have our series of candles here. We have an area that's now looks like it's been kind of established as a supply zone here. Okay, so I'm willing to draw this in. Okay, this right here seems to be a little bit of a supply area. Okay, right. So as long as price remains below this, then I have to think more bearish in my view of the market, right? What would kind of add to this is if price is able to get below this area of support, okay, that I'm seeing here. Okay, we haven't been able to get below, let's say 21,400. Okay, but we're at its door. Okay, so if price manages to close below this, then maybe we get some momentum to the downside toward this trend line that I've drawn here, maybe down to some of these levels like 20,450, maybe as low as 20,120. Okay. But the first order of business is that price needs to break some structure here to that's been established here. Okay. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Okay, we're back again at this same level. We're starting to kind of drill into the kind of formations. Yeah, we're at support right now. Okay. And there's, I would say, probably some support below, maybe some further support down below as well. Okay. This could, I would say, is also somewhat supportive. Okay. So the question is, are we going to revisit this before we move any direction? Or is this going to be a place, we've seen some buyers here in the past, is this going to be a place for price to reverse away from? Okay, right now we have a pretty, strong strong downward pressure in this market. Okay, all right, moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Okay, we see that price is below our VWAP. Okay, let's see, where is our EMA here? EMA also is below, price is below our EMA. We're going to go ahead and open up ADR. ADR levels haven't been exceeded. Okay. And then I suspect that ASR also has been exceeded. Yes. So we're starting to see some evidence that price is beginning to break some of these levels. Okay. Now these levels could offer us something in the way of support, right about here. I'm going to move, okay, change that color to red. Okay. These areas could then be resistant, right? And offer us opportunities to go short, right? Because we had one solid move down and we don't extend, fair value gap, right? We don't extend too far down without, coming back and revisiting some of these areas, right? So I would say that if we are of the opinion that the market is bearish, then this area right here offers us some an area where we could potentially take an execution, assuming we get our little bullish channel here, right? Little bullish channel going up to this area, and we get a break down right below it. Okay. Everything that I take a look at in the markets, I always look for some evidence of that. I look for some evidence that it wants to move in that direction. So even though I'm saying that, market is looking a little bit bearish, I need an event. And again, right now, I would say that what I would be looking for is some sort of, pullback into this market. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchor VWAP from the top of this. Okay. So I would be looking for some sort of pullback into daily VWAP or anchor VWAP. And then that would offer me, an area where I could potentially take an execution to the downside. Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and add my levels to this. Okay. So we'll add our levels to this market. Okay. So these are the levels that I'm tracking in this market. Okay. So right now I'm I guess feeling a little bearish on the market. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile and refer to where we stand in reference to Friday. I suspect that we're below it, but we'll double confirm that. Okay. So here we are. This would be another area. Okay. This value area low would be another area. So here you have a cluster of areas, right? Reference levels, right? We have value area low, we have we have the average session and daily low, and then we have our VWAP. So this area right here seems to be a nice area for a possible execution, okay, to the downside. Okay. All right. So that would be an area that I would be focused in on. All right. If I am of the bearish opinion. Okay. All right. Let's see if there's anything else that I'm overlooking. I think that's pretty much what I have to say. We have identified a couple of levels, both on the bullish and the bearish side. Right now, I would have to say that as long as we stay below VWAP, that my view on the market is a bit more bearish than bullish. Okay. And I would be looking for some sort of pullback. Can I check my ADR low? ADR low is 21. Okay. ADR low is probably a little bit higher. Probably 516. Let's see. Yeah, let's make it 515. Something like that. Okay. But it's a range, right? So 515 is the earliest, and it can go as low as 450, right? So that's the bottom end of the range, right? So 515 is the top end. 450, which I had before, was the bottom end of the range. Okay. Yeah. So okay. Bottom end of this ADR low range. Okay. So we have this range is calculated on two averages. One look back is maybe about 21 days, and the other one is about 7 days, right? So we have two lines that are formed here, and that creates a little bit of a gap. Okay. So we have the top line of the ADR low, and we have the bottom line of the ADR low. I had the bottom line reflected here. Top line could be used as well. Okay. All right. Okay, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say about the NASDAQ, guys. Let's go ahead and close with a review of the ES. Okay, and we'll, again, similar kind of thing. We'll close down some of these levels. And we'll open up with a weekly. Yeah, ES is very much like the NASDAQ. Okay. They're kind of almost replicas. Okay. So we're starting to see some evidence of selling. We are developing a bearish engulfing candle. Is this merely a pullback, or is this going to create a more significant move to the downside? You're welcome, Frizu. Moving on to the daily. Okay, daily, again, we're creating a little series of candles here that appear to be a little bit bearish. Again, I'm going to draw my little supply area or resistance area above me here at around, let's call it 6,100. Okay, that area seems to be an area that could prove to be resistant. It could offer me something along these kind of lines. Okay. I do have my EMA below me, so technically I'm still in a bullish kind of on the daily. I'm still bullish. Okay. So these moves down could just be more corrective than initiative. Okay. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, we're developing a bearish, a relatively strong bearish candle here. I could see that price could easily get down to this level down here. Now that we've broken, could easily get down to this area down here. Okay. Before we make any sort of move back to the other direction, Okay. So we'll go ahead and draw this in green. Okay. So that's certainly a possibility here, right? We get price to come back down to this level here or here, and it could offer us a location where price could reverse away here, okay, and remain in that kind of range. All right. 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Okay. So again, we have going to kind of expand this out here. We see that price has extended below our daily VWAP. Okay. If I open up our ADR and ASR, I'm assuming that we've already exceeded those levels. Okay. So again, these areas here, let's say 6,000 seems like an interesting area for me. Okay. 6,000 would be an interesting area for me to entertain maybe something along these lines, right? That would be kind of an interesting area for me. 6,000. Okay. If we can get above 6,000, then I would say that maybe we start to restore this upward bias that we've been, or upward sentiment that we've had, or bullish sentiment we've had in the markets. Okay. But this seems like a logical, maybe a little bit of a pullback back up to that level, and that would cause price to continue lower. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open up my fixed range volume profile here. I'm going to locate the start of Friday and drag that to the close of Friday. There it is. Okay, so here we are. Price is below value. Again, here is our low here, and that happens to fall right at that 6,000 level. Guys, I don't know what to tell you, but this area right here would be an interesting area, right, for price to be resistant. Okay. This would be an area where I would look maybe to entertain some sort of execution, not to the right, to the bearish side. Okay. That would be a kind of an area that I would be looking for. All right. And again, to continue as a continuation of this move. All right. Right now, I'm in a kind of a no man's land, right? I'm kind of in a no man's land. Really don't know whether I should, treat this as an opportunity to the upside. I don't really have anything as far as I can tell. We're kind of in this no man's land, right? So I would either have to wait to see if price makes it a bit more of a push lower, at which point maybe down around 5,900 or something along those lines, that I can maybe think about taking on a reversal trade back up bullish. Right now, I'm not really, even though it's developing this bullish candle, I really don't have anything to kind of lean on to the left that I can use this as some sort of support area. Okay. So yeah, so that's kind of one last thing I'm gonna need to do here is morning, Robin. We're gonna go ahead and add all right, these are our levels that we're tracking in this market. Okay. So we have our value area low, which I mentioned 6,001, but 6,000 seems to be a logical area for me. Okay. For this market. All right. So if I'm bearish, that would be the area that I would want to participate in. If I'm bullish, I'm going to have to wait for initial balance to form and see what initial balance area low that it's created. Without initial balance, then I would say that my logical level here is down at this area here around 59.20, 59.10. That would be kind of a logical area for me to look for, maybe an area for reversal in price. Okay. This little bullish engulfing candle that's being developed right now is not enough for me to really entertain it. Okay. Without having something else to kind of support it as well. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the ES. We'll take a peek. We'll take a peek at the Dow. All right. We'll take a peek at the Dow. Unless there's another market that you guys would like me to take a look at. We do have about 10 minutes remaining here, or like 10 minutes. You want to look at the Dow? Let's look at the Dow. Okay, looking at the Dow. YM, yes. Okay, so Dow, looking at the weekly chart. Okay, again, the Dow seems to be a little bit more aggressive to the downside, I would say, of late than any of the equities. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 candles to the downside and one neutral week. Okay. Now we are coming into an area down here, I would say around 42,000. Okay. 42,000. I would expect to be somewhat supportive down here. This would be an area of support for me, 42,000, around there, somewhere in that range. Okay, between 42,000 and 42,150. That could potentially be an area of support because of this guy here. Okay, or these set of guys. All right. Moving to the daily chart. Okay, we again starting to create a little bit of a series of candles that would indicate that maybe there is more downside opportunity in the Dow. Okay, we have a push lower, another push by the bulls that wasn't able to take out any of these folks, and then the same folks came back in and has continued to drive price lower. Okay, all right, 4-hour chart. Okay, again, we have a developing engulfing candle, right? We have a very much engulfing candle. We've already kind of crushed the ADR low here. All right, we seem to be breaking some structure here to the downside. Okay, at 43,000. Okay, so this is kind of my line in the sand here for this market. As long as we remain below 43,000, then I would say that we have further, downside opportunity in the Dow. Okay, as long as we stay below 43,000. Okay, or 40, yeah, it's 43,000. Yep. Okay, moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. We've already kind of exceeded our ASR and ADR levels. Okay, we've started to try to come back and retest some of those levels. That has initially been met with some sellers. Okay, so we'll have to see. Right, we're a bit extended away from VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and draw my fixed range volume profile for the start of Friday. Extend that off to this here. Okay, this is our value area low. Okay, so that's going to be another area similar to what we discussed for the other equities. If 43,000, this area right here could offer me an opportunity, right? Change the direction of this candle here if I can. Right, this area right here could offer me an opportunity for a downside move in the market. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP. There's our anchor VWAP. All right, so anchor VWAP, daily VWAP are all prices below both. Okay, so again, I'm going to be waiting for this initial balance range to establish and see. Now, I'm trying to see if there's a bottom to this. There is a bottom. Okay, I see maybe 42,800, maybe as low as 42,500. So these levels right here could offer me some support. Okay, if I'm more on the bullish side of the market. Okay, maybe these two here. These are some areas that I would be looking for, maybe for a reversal in price. Okay, to the upside. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the market, guys. So I'm gonna pause here, guys, and talk a little bit about the membership to kind of close out the session here. So yeah, equities overall look to me a little bit bearish overall. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of walk you guys through a little bit of information around membership. So let me do that, and then we'll go ahead and officially close off the session here. Okay. Da-da-da. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's share this other screen. Find it. Yes, I am part Spanish. Okay, let's see if I can find. Where is my window? All right, guys. So what I want to talk a little bit about, just to close off the session here, is the memberships. We have three main memberships. We have the starter membership, which is at $34.99 a month. We have the Market Trader Plus membership at $49.99 a month, and then we have a Market Trader Pro membership at. Am I sharing? Hopefully, yes. Okay. Yes, neighbors. Yeah, but I'm not from. I mean, I'm not. I live in the U.S. But I do have. I still have family out in Spain there. Okay. So, guys, just wanted to kind of close the session out with a kind of a review. Of the main memberships that I have here. So I have the starter membership. Okay, Market Trader Starter membership, and that makes available the I would say more of the offline membership videos that I provide that are more educational in nature. Okay, and so that's what that. Yeah, I understand. I understand, Zunid. So we have the Market Trader Starter Series, and then we have the Market Trader Plus Series, which is where you start to get some not live analysis, the one I'm providing today, among other live, kind of sessions. Okay. And in addition to whatever is provided in the Market Trader Starter Series, Market Trader Plus also is given access to some to some recordings of live trades that I've taken in the market, so you can analyze those. And then the highest level right now is the Market Trader Pro series at $99.99 a month, and that basically provides you everything in the Market Trader Starter at Plus, but it also opens up for sessions, live sessions with me, actually trading the market. Okay, so you'll be given opportunities to look over my shoulder and watch me and entertain and take trades. Okay, I've been kind of so that's the three series, the three memberships. In any case, guys, this was hopefully you guys got something out of this. Certainly there's some value in subscribing to the channel, because I do also offer some free content that I make available to you guys on a regular basis. So don't be hesitant with your likes and subscribes and comments. Okay. Otherwise, guys, that's pretty much it for me. I see that the market has officially opened, so I'm going to kind of turn my attention to the markets. And so I'll be in the group coaching later this afternoon at 6 p.m. Central. Okay, I'll have a group coaching session through Top Step, and then I will be available in my normal room here in Coach's room. Okay, so if I don't see you, we'll have this session we'll have one more session tomorrow, no session on Wednesday, and then back again 11 p.m. your time. Okay, all right, guys. Well, okay, excellent. All right, well, okay, excellent. Well, that's it for me, guys. So we'll go ahead and close off the session. As I mentioned, I will be moving over to the Top Step server. Yeah, I'm going to be opening up, kind of a live room once I get membership up. Okay. So once I get a good number of members, then I will open the live session more frequently. Okay. All right. I think that's it for me, guys. So we'll go ahead and close off here. Today is Monday. It is still a holiday. So trade with caution, I would say. Don't shy away from setups that present themselves, but I wouldn't necessarily embrace that the sessions are the moves are necessarily going to be as sustained as we maybe have expected in the past. Although we are entering at the tail end of the year, which could cause some volatility. Okay, could cause some volatility in the markets. Okay, so with that, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. You're welcome, Sapadia. You're welcome, Zunid, and we'll talk soon.